This is Crowmar with TGN, welcoming you to another World of Warcraft Cataclysm beta video. This is DPS Rundown Part 5 of a 22-part series, and today we're looking at the Survival Hunter. So let's start out with our talents. So some of these talents are easy to pick. Of course, you're going to get Pathing, which is the 3% haste here, and then to get to the next one you need 2 more points, so that's going to go in and improve Serpent Sting. Now from there's some interesting choices, and I want to talk about those choices and why I picked them. You're going to be using a lot of traps in survival, offensively, and not to actually trap people or do damage to them, kind of. It's to proc different things in your tree. The first one is Point of No Escape. Now, if you watch the Beastmaster, you saw I already had this one in there as well, which gives you 6% extra crit all the time, as long as you manage to keep your ice trap down, which is very easy. This also gives you the opportunity to pick up Trap Mastery, which not only increases the duration of Ice Trap, which makes it easier to keep down all the time, but it helps your Black Arrow, helps the damage on your Black Arrow, which is your final talent, because that's actually considered a trap for some reason. I still don't get the logic in that, but that's okay. Now, I also have TNT. Actually, no, I'm sorry, I have Lock and Load. That's the one. You have a 100% chance when you trap a target with Freezing Trap or Ice Trap. Remember, Ice Trap, if you need a refresher, is your Frost Trap. It's just the names have been changed for some reason. It's otherwise unchanged. But pretty much you drop a Frost Trap on your target, and you gain your Lock and Load, which gives you a free Arcane Shot and free Explosive Shot. Now, it didn't work. It doesn't work a lot of the time. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it is ridiculous. But for some reason, it just doesn't work a lot of the time, and I don't know what else to do about that. But I mean, you just use it every time the cooldown's up, and it does work a lot, but not all the time. Hopefully, we can get it to work this time. I want to say it's bugged. I'm sure it's bugged. Okay, come on. It's so difficult to use this thing. Okay, there it goes. There it goes. Lock and Load. So now your Arcane Shot and Explosive Shot are free. It says 100%, but as you just saw, it's buggy and doesn't seem to trigger all the time. This does affect your DPS. We are going to do the test now with this problem, but hopefully it won't affect it too much. Now the rest of these talents are pretty straightforward. I did have one extra talent left over, which went into Serpent Spread. This is excellent for multiple targets, and I'd rather have 2 points in there. I've even considered taking one out of Frenzy and putting it into Serpent Spread. I'm not totally sure on that, but that's not going to make a big difference for this test anyway. So that may be something I would do in the future for DPS in a real situation, but we'll see. For now, let's just talk about the talents. Now this one that reduces the cost of your Explosive Shot is a must-have, because Explosive Shot is so expensive. It's 50 base, so knocking it down to 44 is huge. And then over here, one with Nature gives you just a big attack power bonus, so that's obviously a must-have as well. Now after that, you've got 4 points to play with. You can either put 1 in Serpent Spread and 3 somewhere else, or you can do what I did. You can get 2 in Kill Command, even though you're not going to be using Kill Command. It's just to get down to the next tier. And then get 2 in Frenzy, which gives your pet, essentially gives them a 20% speed boost for just about all the time. This is a really good one. It does increase his damage, because his melee is going to be over half of his damage. So this is going to increase his damage by an amount it's a significant amount. It's worth putting the points into it. But there's other good talents too. So this Careful Aim is also a possibility. The problem is, though, it only works over 80%. As you see, it grants a very large crit bonus to your Cobra Shot. It's just, my logic is, I took the Frenzy because it's available for the whole fight, where Careful Aim is not. Plus, I can't really test Careful Aim on these dummies. It doesn't work on the dummies. So that's, you know, that's why I went with Frenzy. That's my logic. And I think it's pretty sound, and I would like to see in the future some tests in raids of how effective Careful Aim really is on the total boss. I mean, I'm sure over 80% is pretty dramatic, but to keep in mind, though, that you're going to be sitting there spamming Cobra Shot with full focus, not using Explosive Shot, not using Black Arrow. I don't think that's a good idea. I think that this Cobra Shot is not going to get that many hits in before the talent becomes useless. So that's my logic. So let's move on to glyphs. The glyph choices are pretty easy. Explosive Shot increases the crit of your Explosive Shot, which is one of your best abilities. That's a must-have. I also kept Kill Command or Kill Shot, because it gives you the double Kill Shot under 20%, and Kill Shot doesn't cost anything, so you'll be mixing that into your rotation along with your Explosive Shots and so on. And then I got Arcane Shot, because Arcane Shot is still a huge part of your DPS, even as Survival. The other option is Serpent Sting. I just think that Arcane Shot contributes more than your Serpent Sting does, and instead of only a 6% chance on the critical, this is a 12% on all damage. So I think that overall the Arcane Shot is going to give you more on your DPS. For your major glyphs, there's only 2 that are even worth mentioning. This just makes your trap launcher a little easier to use, and this one just makes it easier to keep people in your ice trap for your crit bonus. So let's take a look at that rotation. I'm just going to walk in and lay down a trap for simplicity's sake. Refresh Hunter's Mark, stick 'em, and Black Arrow, Explosive Shot, Serpent Sting, and now I'm already out of focus. I just used up all my focus just like that. So I'm going to start spamming Cobra Shot so I can get ready for Arcane, which it is up now, so I'm going to use it again. Okay, I just got a lock and load, so I'm going to use the first one on Arcane. And then as soon as that one's used up, I use another one. And that one's up, and do another one. Now you see I got a nice little surplus of focus. I was even focus capped for a second. You can go ahead and spend that with a kill command if you'd like, although I prefer not to, because you are so focus starved in this build. You only get a lot of focus to work with during lock and load. At all other times, you're constantly trying to keep your focus high enough to be able to use Explosive Shot. There's a lock and load, 2 explosive shots. I'm just doing explosive shot, Cobra Shot, explosive shot, and so going back and forth. And if lock and load's up, it causes your focus to fly through the roof. Now I've got a lot built up, so I'm just going to go ahead and dump it into Arcane. There, I got an explosive back up. So the cooldown on explosive can be annoying. It's not always available when you want it. There we go. This rotation is not too hard to manage. It's a little more complicated than Beast. It's time for an ice trap. I didn't get anything for that one. I couldn't spend my lock and load right away because I didn't have because the kill explosive was still on cooldown. That's that annoying part I was telling you about. Okay, now I have both Black Arrow and Explosive Shot ready at the same time. That's always a problem. You're wasting your cooldown if you're not using them both as soon as they come off. But it's hard to be able to have exactly the right amount of focus for that. Come on. There we go. Sometimes it can be very difficult to coerce this game and actually launching your trap. Trap launcher's got some problems. It's on the Google cooldown, which is kind of stupid. It shouldn't be. It should be just like a like Presence of Mind or something where you can macro it. But you really can't macro it. You can kind of macro it, but it's a macro you have to press several times to get it to work. I just have it on Shift 4, Shift 5. So I hold Shift, hit 4, then I hit 5. Should be simple, but half the time it doesn't work. Come on. There we go. There's my lock and load. Okay. So that's the rotation. Let me just go ahead and call off the dogs here. Let the Serpent Sting wear off, reset my Hunter's Mark, and I'll go ahead and do a full test. I'll do a full Hunter's Mark duration, and let's see what the results are.
Spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. That ability isn't ready yet.
So let's take a look at those results. It stopped at about 7150. Don't be fooled by the 6800 you see here. The 7150 was what it's at when I stopped attacking. Let's look at the breakdown. Explosive Shot did about a quarter of your DPS, followed by Cobra Shot, Auto Shot, and then the rest were taken out with Serpent Sting and your Arcane Shot dumps. Now, I was kind of surprised by these results because in the past, I hadn't really analyzed it, but I kind of felt like Arcane Shot would be more of your DPS than it is. So, it's kind of a wash between these two. So you could honestly put that glyph on if you want for Serpent Sting. I don't think it would make a difference if that's just the one you prefer. As for the other ones, Black Arrow did a shockingly low amount of damage for being what is supposed to be a signature attack. Of course, Black Arrow has a lot of other properties to it that make it useful, like it makes it proc your lock and load. So obviously this is not a bad ability. It's a moderately cheap ability, a lot cheaper than Explosive Shot, and it does help you. So it's certainly worth keeping in your rotation once every 24 seconds. And then Improved Serpent Sting was just from the very beginning of the fight, the opening Serpent Sting. So anyway, that's the breakdown. The pet did about, where is it here? The pet did 13% of my damage, the 944 damage. So my personal DPS was just a tad higher than the rogues, about 6100, rounding off. I'm very happy with that. It's certainly much higher than the rogues. It's higher than the Beastmaster spec, and that was a bit of a surprise as well. I didn't think it would do that well, but Explosive Shot really is an incredible ability. It's so powerful. It's just a little hard to use. I think I had more fun playing with Beastmaster, but I certainly also had fun with this. So it's more dot heavy, it's more proc heavy, and it's less spammy. So that's the difference between Survival and Beastmaster. But currently Beastmaster's a little underpowered. Now I saw a blue post saying that they were going to buff Kill Command. So it's almost like my predictions came true. Now, it wasn't clear on when that was going to happen, and a beta build just went out, so I went and retested Kill Command before I shot this video, and I can tell you that as of right now, the buff has not been put in. Kill Command still does the same amount of damage it did before. But hopefully in the future they should buff it, and if they do, I'll do a follow-up video showing Kill Command in its new form, and hopefully that will cause Beastmaster to catch up to Survival. That's what I'm hoping anyway, but we'll see. Well, that's that for the Survival Hunter. Thank you for watching. As always, please rate, please comment, and please subscribe.